So chapter 7, the origin story of Orbis Initiative, or sometimes I would call it, it's named Squid Game. So you can think of it as a parent company. So it's origin story. They all meet at the group therapy. Each one of them lost somebody to a senseless crime, and it was the year was I think around 2002 2003, during the 9/11 attack, and that actually happened after. So I mean, the group therapy happened before that, and then after that, that was, you know, how they actually became, you know, close. And then after that, that was, you know, how they actually became close. And then after that, that was, you know, how they actually became close. And then after that, that was, you know, how they actually became close. And then after that, that was, you know, how they actually became close. And then after that, that was, you know, how they actually became more resolute to go along with what the investment banker proposed. So, he was one of them. He was one of the people that they're at the group therapy. They were sharing their memories, their feelings. And when that ended, they all continued to meet, the exchange phone numbers. And it was that person who was around that time was already 55 years old, was the one who proposed that idea. And then, most of them, they supported him. The protagonist was actually only 25 years old. And then he will go on to work in the company for 25 more years, while others actually quit. But there's no quitting. Others who quit, they were actually kind of murdered because they tried to call the police, that because things kind of was not what they expected. They were given a mission, but then the mission kind of, it evolved into something more financial focused. So, and then they realize what they've done, but they can't quit anymore. So this protagonist realized that he was trapped. There's really nowhere to go, and so he just decided to just continue along, just continue. And when the chairman died, others see that he was a good leader, or not a good leader, but someone who's been there for like quite a long time and has performed well, and so he was given the new CEO role. So currently, which is not 2025, but in the future, like 2027 or 2028, because it says 25 years later, and then it's the after that 9/11 attack. So that's kind of the story. This is now the new CEO, and this is his story, how he became the person to inherit the role. So it was actually that 55-year-old person who, kind of proposed that idea, who founded that idea, and then he inherited that position. So it's a relatively young company. It's been there for only, relatively young, like 25 years. So, time passed by, time is so fast. So, and now he's the CEO. So that's the story.